Chapter 2 A Strange Dream.
Looking around the
dimly lit hall, Alex spotted a glass table.
lit hall, Alice spotted a glass table. On top of it
lay a tiny gold key.
lay a tiny gold key.
I wonder if this will unlock a door, Alex said as she picked up the key.
Will unlock a door, Alice said as she picked up the key. She tried
the key in every door on both sides of the hall.
the key in every door on both sides of the hall.
It was too small, but Alex didn't give up.
Small, but Alice didn't give up. She tried
again, and this time she discovered a small curtain.
again, and this time she discovered a small curtain.
This wasn't here before, Alex said, pulling aside the curtain.
Before, Alice said, pulling aside the curtain. Behind it was a door.
Behind it was a door, about 15 inches high.
Or about 15 inches high. And
the tiny gold key fits perfectly.
The gold key fits perfectly. Alex
opened the door and knelt down.
She peered through a small
passage to a beautiful garden. Wow! That's the lovely garden I ever seen, she said.
That's the loveliest garden I've ever seen, she said. Look at
those flowers and that fountain.
Alice wanted to wander
through the garden, but she was too big.
through the garden, but she was too big. She wished
she could make herself small enough to fit through the door.
She could make herself small enough to fit through the door.
I'm sure I could if only I know how to begin, she said.
Good. If only I knew how to begin, she said. So many
strange things had already happened that nothing seemed impossible anymore.
Strange things had already happened that nothing seemed impossible anymore.
There's no point in waiting by the little door, Alex thought.
No point in waiting by the little door, Alice thought. She headed back
to the table. Maybe there will be enough key of our instructions for shrinking myself, Alex said.
Or instructions for shrinking myself, Alice said. Instead,
she found a bottle which had definitely not been there before.
She found a bottle which had definitely not been there before. Tied around
its neck was a paper label.
Drink me, it said.
Drink me, it said in large, beautiful
beautiful letters.
I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink some strange liquid.
Some strange
Alex said.
liquid? Alice said. That could be poison.
That could be poison.
Alice examined the label.
Alex examined the label carefully, but there was not mention of poison.
Carefully, but there was no mention of poison. So
she decided to take a sip.
She decided to take a sip.
That's delicious. Alex licked her lips.
Delicious. Alice licked her lips. It's like a mixture of
It's like a mixture of cherry tart, pineapple, roast turkey, and buttered toast.
cherry tart, pineapple, roast turkey, and buttered toast. Alex
liked the liquid so much that she soon finished the whole bottle.
Liked the liquid so much that she soon finished the whole bottle. And then
something strange began to happen.
Something strange began to happen.
What an odd feeling. Alex looked around her.
Feeling? Alice looked around her. I seem to be shrinking.
And indeed, Alex was only 10 inches high, but she was not upset.
Alice was only 10 inches high, but she was not upset. She was now the
perfect size to fit through the little door.
Perfect size to fit through the little door. Alice was eager to enter
the garden, but she waited a few minutes.
To the garden, but she waited a few minutes. I want to be sure I
finished shrinking, she said.
Shrinking, she said. What if I keep shrinking?
What if I keep shrinking it in it
till there's nothing left of
until there's nothing left of me?
Fortunately for Alice, that
didn't happen.
So she
worked over the little door, which had mysteriously closed again.
Walked over to the little door, which had mysteriously closed again. Alice
reached in her pockets for the key.
Reached in her pocket for the key.
Oh no! I left the key on the table.
Alice raced back
to the table.
She could see the key.
Quite clearly through the glass.
But there was no way
she could reach it. Trying to climb one of the glass legs, Alex slid back to the floor.
Climb one of the glass legs. Alice slid back to the floor. The leg was
so slippery. Still, she kept trying until she was exhausted.
Alice sat down and cried.
But that only lasted for a minute. Crying, what have you? Alex said to herself.